enormous wealth, a non-stop social life, and recognition as one of the most popular lyricist composers of the 20th century. But he died a lonely, reclusive man. His name was Cole Porter. American Masters is made possible by a major grant from the National Endowment for the Arts and the financial support of viewers like you, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, the Marilyn M. Simpson Charitable Trust, the Marjorie Carr Adams Charitable Trust, and Rosalind P. Walter.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cole Porter. To the Texaco Star Theater, Mr. Porter, and I want you to know it's a distinct honor, on behalf of all these very wonderful people, to be on the stage with a great guy like you, Cole Porter.
Thank you, Milton. It's a pleasure to be here.
You know, the name of Cole Porter is an American institution in music, and believe me, ladies and gentlemen, to all of us, Mr. Porter, you're tops.
Oh, you're very kind, Milton. I like writing songs.
You do like writing songs?
Words poetic that I always have found. Instead of getting them off for my chest, to let them rest unexpressed. I hate parading my serenading, and I probably missed the ball.
But if this city is not so pretty, at least it'll tell you how great you are. You're the top.
You're just staying there.
You're the Swanee River. You're the top. You're a V8 sliver. You're a melody from a symphony by Strauss.
You're a Bendel bonnet, a Shakespeare sonnet, you're Mickey Mouse.
You're the Nile. You're the Tower of Pisa. You're the smile on the Mona Lisa.
I'm a good for naught,
No.
an afterthought, but a baby, I'm bottom, you're the guy.
He is the most respected American songwriter in the history of the theater.
When you were with him, you just sort of felt rather grand.
Cole was constantly engaged in inventing himself.
He knew exactly how far he could go.
Wicked. And cute.
He wrote a song every day.
The melody winds out like string out of a spool.
His lyrics were so intelligent.
They're sensual.
You know, you don't throw the word genius around loosely, but somewhere around him, I'll tell you that.
But if baby, I'm the bottom.
But if baby, I'm the bottom.
But if baby, I'm the bottom.
Baby, I'm the bottom.
But if baby, I'm the bottom. You're the top.
You're the top. You're a Waldorf solid. You're the top. You're a Berlin ballad. You're the baby grand of a lady and a gent. You're an old Dutch master. You're Mrs. Asta. You're Pepsodent. There is something special about a Cole Porter song. The surprise of a syncopated rhythm. The talent to turn an everyday expression into an anthem. You're the top. Or to transform something mundane, Pepsodent, into something magical. Songwriting is a complicated craft, and Cole Porter is one of its masters, and one of the few who wrote both the words and the music. What's more, Cole created a world we hadn't seen before in quite this way. It is the world he lived in, a world of penthouses, chiffon and champagne, the world where Ginger fell in love with Fred for the very first time.
Day and night, why is it so that this longing for you follows wherever I go? In the roaring traffic boom, in the silence of my lonely room, I think of you. Night and day, night and day, under the hide of me, there's an oh such a hungry yearning burning inside. and its torment won't be through till you let me spend my life making love to you day and night, night and day.
I was trying to figure out what kind of a dance could be arranged for it, and then I asked him to play it again and again, and after 4 or 5 times, I began to get with it.
We think of Cole Porter now as the consummate insider, but in point of fact, he was simply the grandson of an enormously wealthy man from a little Indiana town called Piru. Nobody had ever heard of it. He was born in 1891, when people of wealth invariably sent their sons east to school. And once he left, Cole didn't go home much. But no matter where he went, Venice, Paris, the Riviera, Hollywood, the Waldorf Towers, Peru, Indiana was always with him. His first hit song in 1919 was Old Fashioned Garden. It was an old-fashioned garden, just an old-fashioned garden, but it carried me back.
Cole's mother had lost 2 infants at birth, and he was the only child that they raised.
He was the adored child of Kate, who was pretty determined that her son was going to be somebody.
I think it was probably a great deal more than the normal relationship between a mother and her son.
She had him performing in Peru, Indiana, when he was barely able to stand up.
You can certainly look at the early publications of the 10-year-old boy, these childish offerings. She had the means and the wherewithal to go to Chicago and have these works published. Undoubtedly, she purchased all of the copies and gave them out to friends to show how wonderful her son was.
Like all youngsters, I don't think he particularly liked to do his practice work. I would imagine that the poor young fellow had some very unpleasant experiences as a youth, because she did have him dressed differently than everybody else.
Yes, he must have been a very lonely boy who needed attention and got it through his music. He could compose humorous songs about the people in his neighborhood, the people in his school, his teachers, his friends. He could work them into these songs with extraordinary cleverness. It must have given him a taste for that kind of world, and certainly he craved it and sought it. And as soon as he was able to go out on his own and achieve it, he did.
Bingo, 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 that's the lingo.
He was sort of snubbed at Yale because being from the West, people, you know, they were just a little bit snobbish with him. His room was apparently had wicker furniture, and he wore a salmon-colored tie. They didn't think that was done at all. You didn't, you know.
I remember my father telling me that he sang a song called I Wish I Were a Football Hero, I think was the song. And Cole, who was not a large man and a little pop-eyed, nice looking, but he was the last thing that would be a football hero.
Fortunately for him, because of his charm and because of his talent, he was taken up by Gerald Murphy, who was what we would have called in the old days the big man on campus. And Gerald Murphy brought him along, saw that he got into his fraternity, got him into the dramatic, got him into everything, put him under his wing, and never let him go.
He was a member of everything. And to be a member of everything involved singing music, writing songs all the time, participating in undergraduate life, from fraternities to writing musicals and putting them on.
And in doing that, he had the opportunity to really learn how to write. Albert Crawford told me this wonderful story about being at the Yale-Harvard game, and you could hear the band inside playing the wonderful football songs, Bulldog and Bingo and others that Cole Porter had written. And Albert Crawford said he remembers this scene where Porter was trying to find someone, and then he turned to Albert Crawford, who was known as Baldy, and said, "Baldy, They're playing my song, but I can't get into the stadium. He really did want that wonderful applause.
It was in that period between graduation and World War I, and then World War I whirled them all together in a exciting way.
I understand that he was in Paris playing in the bar in World War I, that he was in a foreign legion. I don't know if it's true or not.
You may believe you're broken, it's very mediocre. It's playing with your stocks and balls. At business he may blunder, but he's a perfect wonder when he plays with balls. Old maids who are ticked for, old men you never would suspect for. Even Dave is much too young to crawl for.
It was just an extraordinary coincidence that they were all there together. There was Picasso and Stravinsky, Satie, Mio, Ernest Hemingway, Scott Fitzgerald. They were all there.
He came from the same generation as so many of the writers, many of them came from the Midwest, who had service in World War I and then lived in Paris and other places during the 20s.
Cole Porter and my uncle Howard met at Yale and were great friends. Howard had a wonderful flat in Rue Monsieur in Paris, and he and Cole embraced the Charleston when it came out in the late 20s as a dance. And Howard took a leap, and his foot went right through the floor.
The Paris effect is like this.
Oh, it isn't Paris, it's you.
You do something to me, something that simply mystifies me.
Cole was having a perfectly wonderful time, and he didn't really take very seriously the criticism from his grandpa or the criticism from his mother that he wasn't doing enough.
Let me live neath your spell. You do that voodoo that you do so well. Or you do something to me that nobody else could do.
When he married Linda Porter, Linda Thomas she was then, and they met in Paris. She was sophisticated. She was a little older than Cole. She was very rich.
He was an extremely rich man, as we all know. And added to that, he married a girl who was twice as rich as he was. So when you plunk these two fortunes together, they wanted for nothing.
And she was what's known as a professional beauty. People would wait outside a restaurant to see Linda Thomas come in.
Cole was, of course, homosexual. Linda had, however, no interest in sex because she'd had a very bad marriage in which she had found herself being beaten up and really bloodied continuously by a young bridegroom. So she was delighted to marry this handsome and gifted young man and to preside over his entourage.
And when he first married her, he sort of stopped writing. He just lived the party life, you know, palaces in Venice and private trains to take them wherever they wanted to go.
They were the toast of Paris, the toast of Venice. I wish I could have seen them when they had that palazzo called the Rizzonico in Venice. But I wasn't in those rarefied circles in those days. I think I was in vaudeville.
Cole Porter and Linda Porter invited my mother and father to the Riviera. They'd taken a villa near the Garoupe, which was a little beach in Antibes. And they invited them down, and so really it was the Cole Porters that introduced my parents to the Riviera.
They could afford to be pace setters, and the Scott Fitzgerald